Helen scattered her son's ashes on the steps, then sat quietly behind the door to wait. Soon, the iron ring on the door began to turn, and the sound of a boy crying came from outside. She slowly leaned closer, and when she confirmed it was her son, she broke down in tears, apologizing over and over. She told him she never meant for it to happen that day. The boy, wise beyond his years, told her not to blame herself. His leg had been stuck, and in that moment, she could only save his little sister first. All he wanted now was for her to open the door and hold him, because he was scared being alone outside. But this ritual could only let them speak. Opening the door was forbidden. When Helen refused, the boy cried and said goodbye. At that moment, Helen lost control and tore off the latch, pulling the door open. But her son wasn't there. Only a shadowy figure flashed past, glaring at her with hatred. "You broke the rules. You brought this on yourself." Back at home, the family dog barked endlessly at empty air, then ran into the yard and refused to come back in all night. The next morning, Helen found a dirty old tiger toy sitting on the piano. She froze. It was her son's favorite toy, the one buried with him in his coffin. When she asked her daughter where it came from, the girl glanced behind her and said, "Brother brought it back." At that moment, the piano keys pressed down by themselves, playing the tune her son used to play. Helen understood then. By opening the gate of the dead, she had let her son follow her home. She washed the toy, carried it into his room, set it on the bed, and, out of habit, whispered goodnight. Just as she turned to leave, a fairy tale book fell off the shelf, and a chair slid over to the bedside. Terrified, yet hopeful, Helen sat in the chair and began reading a bedtime story to her son. The next day, the nanny noticed the houseplants had withered. The fish in the pond and the birds in their cages were all dead. That night, Helen's daughter sat crying on the bed. Helen rushed over, only to see her daughter walk in from the doorway. So who was the girl already sitting on the bed?